I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We're joined by Maxim. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, appreciate you coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm Maxim. I'm a relatively new VTuber. I debuted here in March. I've been streaming ever since, regularly. Mostly playing FPS, horror games, and whatever really tickles my fancy.
So, why did you get started with VTubing? What drew
Well,
you in?
well, I'm actually a big fan of a lot of VTubers, especially like Hololive, VShojo, a lot of people like that. So I figured, hey, I can probably do this, and so I saved up a bunch of money, got myself a model and some stuff done, and now I'm doing this, which is pretty fun.
Did it take a while for you to get the equipment, or did you have some of the equipment already?
I already had like a laptop and like I had to order like microphone, camera, all that stuff, but other than that, and of course get the model and get art done for certain things, but other than that, yeah, I basically had everything more or less.
Well, that helps out a little bit. And since you'd seen the VTubers before, you knew what they were doing. But when you first got on and turned that microphone on and you were a VTuber all of a sudden, how did that hit you?
It definitely hit me pretty hard. Like, oh man, I am actually doing this. Like, I've been thinking about like getting into content creation ever since I was like young, thinking I'm funny enough to be able to do that, and then being like, oh, I don't even have to show my face to do it now.
Yeah.
I can just hide behind an avatar because, I'm kind of shy like that. Don't like people knowing every detail about me. So,
Yeah. Which is why you're here for an interview, so we can know every detail about you.
correct. Yes.
Now, your social security number was what? Oh, I'm sorry. The Yeah, no. I see. Last time somebody broke into my their credit score went down. So I just
Yeah.
give them mine. You go ahead. You'll probably help it out.
If anyone steals my identity, they can have it.
I tried to sell mine on eBay, but I didn't get any bidders. the low bid was one, and nobody went for it. So the getting started on this and getting a few under your belt. How long did it take for you to get comfortable with VTubing?
I'm still kind of getting comfortable with it because it's a constantly evolving space, like with different like techniques for like tracking and models and all that stuff. Like, it's pretty cutting edge as far as streaming goes. Like, they've only been around for like I think a handful of years, so
Yeah,
very
at least it's like 2021 or two. I think is when a lot of the boom came in, as far as
yeah,
it did. But it was being done before that in the 2020 before
yeah.
that. The
That was fairly niche
Yeah, it
even
was.
then.
Certainly, though, you've got an opportunity now to show what you got to the potential audience of anybody who holds a phone in their hand, or
Yeah,
has a computer or a laptop or a tablet.
yeah.
How does that? Did that give you any pause before you got started?
It definitely does because it's feels so strange to have like certain aspects of yourself just be out there for anyone to just view at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
But as I tend to like control it pretty well, to like they're not getting like super personal information, just like vague stuff really.
Mm-hmm.
But also I just like telling jokes and stuff. So
So from what it sounds like that you didn't get up on the stage very much when you were younger, but did you always want to?
yes, actually, I debated when I was in high school. I actually debated whether or not I would like go into like one acts like the play production, stuff like that, even mock trial in some cases,
Mm-hmm.
but I never ended up doing any of that because I was just too shy.
Mm. I did a mock trial, and I was one of the lawyers in the mock trial, and we proved that the coroner was in their office illegally. The person who was supposed to be the coroner in the case didn't know that our coroner was elected. The judge, the teacher said, um, "Just go on with your next question." Sorry, we don't even know the person's dead. No, no, we're not allowing that. But that is a way of getting up in front of the class, isn't it? Public speaking, is that something that causes you problems, or are you good with that?
Uh, I'd say it's more just showing off my like being like a public figure that is very like if I were to go under my real name and stuff, I'd definitely have a lot more apprehension. But since I'm under an alias and
Mm,
have a little guy to represent me, yeah, I definitely feel a lot better about talking.
yeah. How much did you time did you put into coming up with an avatar?
Um, the idea of Maxim has kind of always been bouncing around in my head one way or another for years. I just had to get certain aspects of him pinned down, really, like his back, like the backstory, the idea behind him, the what he does, what he's willing to do, basically.
You know what he will do for, and then what the jobs that he will do,
Yeah,
and and how dirty he'll get
yeah,
his hands while he's doing the job.
basically, yeah.
So as far as dirty hands go, how about the games that you're playing? What are you playing right now on your streams?
Well, just yesterday I was playing some Crisis 2, which is a first-person shooter where you wear a nano suit, which is basically a super advanced suit, and you have to fight off an alien invasion.
Mm. So does the suit itself change depending on the situation?
Yeah, it has multiple different modes like armor, speed, strength, and
Mm.
even a cloak.
Cool. So the nano,
Yeah,
like the little nanobites, will change themselves depending on the situation.
basically,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you pick up more skills for those nanobots as you go, or are you basically giving them at the start?
Well, yes and no. You have all the abilities, but you can unlock augments for them that make them like use less energy or makes them like for the cloak, for example, you can have one that reduces the energy it uses, or you can make it so that it silences your footsteps.
Oh
But you
yeah.
can't have both.
Whoa, no.
Yeah,
No, I want both. I want to be
yeah.
stealthy and quiet. But you do have to make the choices then as you go along in the game.
It's fairly linear, but yeah, you do have some limited choices in your like arsenal and such.
Mm. So it's as you how do you pick up these things? Is it with experience, or do you have to find them somewhere, or how?
So the aliens in the game have this thing on them called nano catalyst, which is used to upgrade your suit.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you just find weapons on like dead bodies and such that have different attachments on them that you can swap out at any given time.
Ah, okay. So it's a there's a couple different ways that you can get it that you can
Yeah,
get upgrades.
basically.
So what about the weapons? What type of weapons are there?
Uh, Usual stuff: assault rifles, shotguns, microwave beams, multi-missile launchers.
Just what
Yeah,
you pick up in your average fish and tackle shop
yep. Average trip to New York.
in a roadside stand on the way in.
Yep.
The um so how fast does it take in that game to pick up um for you anyway? How fast did it take for you to pick up the gameplay and how everything worked?
Well, to be honest, I have played it before,
Oh
but
yeah, but I mean,
so
first.
I was familiar with it, but it did take about maybe half an hour to get reacquainted with it.
Mm. And so it's one of those that it's not like picking it up like picking up a bicycle after you learn how to ride. You still have to you have to get your fingers back in the right spots again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So what other games have you got that you've been playing recently?
well, I tried to play this one the other day, but it was lagging too bad. But I have been playing a lot in my free time. It's called the Forever Winter.
Oh, I haven't heard of
Uh,
that one. What's that about?
well, it just came out
Hmm.
the other day, and it is about a basically a full-scale war has been going on for 40 years, and you are on neither side. You are
Mm,
just a scavenger trying to survive,
okay. Yeah. So
and you have to go into war zones to harvest resources and take on contracts to stay alive, basically.
is it a kind of a post-apocalyptic thing, or?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Mhm. So, but the two sides are still warring it out.
Yeah,
That sounds
basically an endless apocalypse, so to say.
that sounds that sounds actually pretty cool. I mean, do you come up on battles every once in a while?
Uh, yeah, the whole game is kind of built around it, where you have to slink through dodging gunfire
Mm.
between the two sides as you just scrounge for whatever you can find.
Oh, that sounds really neat. So
Yeah.
you play as basically well, as you said, a scavenger for the most part.
Yes.
And what is your goal at the end of the game?
Uh, basically, just make sure your whole little society you have doesn't die from dehydration,
Mm,
because the main currency, well, the main gameplay element is water. Without it, of course, you can't live. So
right.
you need to have plenty of water in order for your little underground city to survive.
Hmm. So are you kind of the savior of the underground city, or do you just kind of live there?
Uh, a bit of both, actually.
Mm,
You are kind of savior, but you're not the only one. There are dozens of them, but a lot of them don't make it back.
mm. Well, I mean, if they're jumping up into war zones and stuff, I imagine so. Do you get to start
Yeah.
off with anything as far as weapons and armor, or do you have to pick that up on the
You
way?
get some fairly basic equipment, like basic rifle and a shotgun,
Mm,
a bit of ammo, and some med kits, but other than that, you have to scrounge to be able to sell enough stuff to get by,
mm,
or you just have to make do with what you can find up above.
mm. So, when you go in to one of these zones, are you targeted by both sides, or do they leave you alone?
Uh, they will leave you alone as long as they have each other to fight,
Mm,
basically.
mm. So if you walk in on a bunch of one side about ready, they're not going to automatically start firing on you.
Uh, not unless they see you as an immediate threat, I'd say, because you can even lead them into the other side's fire so that they start fighting each other instead of you.
That's evil.
Yeah,
But you get good
but you
stuff.
get to live.
You get to live and you get good stuff, and
Yeah,
that's the way to do it in those games. That sounds really interesting. That's almost
yeah,
that's a real different take on the kind of like a Fallout thing, isn't it?
yeah. The
Well,
game's still in early access, so it's kind of buggy and a mess, but I really enjoy it and would recommend it if you're willing to give it a shot and understand that it is not going to be the most polished experience at first.
it sounds to me like that really could be, depending on how that finishes up, really could be a lot of fun to play and very immersive too. Um,
Yeah.
it's well, like me in the Fallout games. I did three and I did New Vegas, and once I got into them, I didn't want to do anything else. I mean,
Yeah.
they really it does. So did you get into the Fallout games at all?
Yes, I did, but I haven't played any of them on stream yet, but
Mm,
I did I do play them a lot in my free time, especially. I like 4 the most, mostly because it has the most modding potential, but 3
Right.
in New Vegas is objectively the best.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I don't have a computer good enough for 4 right now. The video card and audio card aren't up to date
Yeah.
on it, but the I could play the other 2 and I enjoyed it thoroughly because I also played 1 and 2. So
Oh yeah, I need to play those
uh,
too.
it's
I've heard
totally different. It's
they're
so different.
yeah, those are the isometric turn-based ones,
Yep, yep,
right?
yep. And you will absolutely hate Death Claws. I'm just telling you
Yeah,
right now, you're gonna hate
I
them.
already do.
Yeah, you're really gonna hate them now with those especially. What have you got any other games you're wanting to play that you haven't played yet on stream?
Um, well, I've got more. There's a handful. Like I still have to play like the Stalker games, the Metro games, which are both more Eastern European post-apocalyptic. Well, what else? I don't know. I've been playing the Warhammer 40K Space Marine game that
Hmm.
came out
Yeah.
just recently. The second one. That one was pretty fun, but I'm not able to play it on my laptop right
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah, it does. It's. I know folks may not understand this, so I hope you can explain it for us. Um, you can play a game off stream, but not on stream because of how much it takes out of your computer, right?
yeah, that's basically what happened with the Forever Winter. Basically, uh, too many resources being used, so it just lagged the heck out, and I had to end it early
Well,
because it wasn't interesting enough. I feel.
yeah. I couldn't play any of this on my Commodore 64, I probably imagine.
Oh no, you need like 30 of them mashed together into a ball in order to even start to play them.
That'd be just for the title screen.
Yeah,
Remember this? That old computer used the floppy disks, so it's going to be a while
yeah.
before you get anything to use on that one. The Have you got any goals that you'd like to have for your channel within a year, or have you set
Well,
any of those up yet?
well, by the end of the year, I want to hit affiliate on Twitch, which is I'm getting pretty close to. I just need a couple more followers and to get my average viewership up. Other than that, I've got it down
Hmm.
basically.
So what are you doing for that? Are you relying on word of mouth, or are you trying to get some
Uh, well,
clips out there?
I have a Twitter that I regularly post like, "Hey, I'm streaming this day," and you know, people will see it, maybe check out. So yeah, kind of word of mouth
Hmm.
type stuff.
Yeah, I say some folks are using YouTube to put either clips or VODs on to kind of draw people back to the channel. Have you got
I
you got any
do
plans like that in the
upload
future?
my I do already upload my VODs to YouTube, but I really need like an editor to do that because I do not understand anything like that, so I just don't want to touch it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that sometimes, especially if you can get the smaller clips up there, um, that I believe I see some folks being able to use that as basically advertisement. If you could put it on that or TikTok or something and get them in as far as that goes. How about collaborations? Have you been able to do that yet?
Yeah, I've actually been able to. I found a little community of people that I really enjoy hanging out with, and we play games quite a bit.
Which games do you collaborate on?
Uh, we've played Among Us, Jackbox, Phasmophobia, 7 Days to Die.
Yeah, I imagine that the phasmophobia gets pretty wild after a while.
Yeah, it does.
So how do you handle those types of games? Are you okay with the horror games?
I'm surprisingly good with them because I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of hard for me to get scared. Uh, because I know it's nothing's gonna hurt me physically in the game.
Right.
Like
Right. So the jump scares don't jump you.
Not as much
Mm.
as I'd say some other people, but
Yeah.
definitely more than like someone who has literally zero fear.
So I tell you what you've done right now, Maxim, is thrown down the gauntlet. So anybody out there who's putting together a horror video game right now, your goal is to scare the the X out of Maxim on these games.
Yes. If you scare me, I will give you $1.
One a shiny coin dollar. There you go.
Yes,
That'll be
you will
perfect.
get.
Do something that knocks Maxim right out.
Yes,
Make him scream. The
yes.
the what do you want to do with the collaboration? Do you want to kind of expand your circle a little bit?
I definitely do because I'm gonna be honest. I did not like people when I first started, but
Mm-hmm.
after a few, after like a few weeks, I was like, yeah, people are pretty cool.
Mm. Do you find it all right to collaborate and still kind of keep kind of what you have in chat involved too?
Yeah.
No.
Basic. Well, my chat's pretty inactive
Mm.
for the most part, so sometimes I just pop into other, like my collab partners' chats and see what's going on over there.
Mm. That's good. And have you been? How do you get your collaborations? Is it over is it over Twitter or is it over Twitch or how do you do that?
Um, I'm actually in a Discord
Hmm.
like group with them, so that's where most of it comes from. But yeah, anyone is free to DM me on Twitter or send me an email if they want to collaborate at any time.
Yeah, well, we're going to have all the links in the description for this video, so you can find out what Maxim is up to. How has your
Yes.
schedule been as far as streaming goes? Have you been able to keep up a regular schedule?
Yes, I stream just about every day except Wednesdays and Sundays.
Mm.
Uh, though I do have to take some days off because I'm not feeling well or I have something else I have to do.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go on when you're not feeling up to it. Otherwise, it's not good for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things. You're kind of your own boss here.
Hmm.
You get to pick and choose your hours as far as coming on and entertaining folks.
Yeah.
And is that what it is for you right now? You're entertaining folks. Is that what your main goal is?
It is definitely entertainment primarily, but also I just had the idea that, well, I'm playing these games anyway, might as well, let people see how I do it and
Mm-hmm.
how and just have fun with it.
Mm. And are you having fun with it?
I am having fun with it.
it has it caught you that you are doing this with other people watching over your shoulder a little bit?
Um, Not too much. I mean, at first, yeah, it kind of did, but then I realized they don't have any input on how I push the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
They they just have to sit there and watch.
And comment.
Yeah.
Have you gotten any backseat drivers yet?
No, surprisingly.
That's that. If you had somebody who was just constantly on you about you should do this, you should do that when you're running through a game, even for the first time, someone who was spoilers had too many spoilers for you. How would you handle that?
They would get banned.
No spoilers for you.
Yeah.
Mm. Or they got too much involved in how you were doing things. Um, have you built up a little bit of a callus as far as that goes?
Uh, I definitely say so because what works for me won't work for everyone else,
Mm-hmm.
and that is just something people have to understand, really.
Yeah, yeah, and hopefully you get folks that understand that in the chat. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah. So, as far as in the near future, have you got any plans? Anything upcoming?
Well, after this, I'm playing some some more games. We got Mind Scanners tomorrow, and next week I'll have to make up a new schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Any big events planned?
Not particularly. It's weird that you mentioned this because I'm kind of in the middle of a donathon, but that hasn't been exactly going the best.
Well,
So
folks, get over there right now. After
yes,
this interview, head over there and help out with what Maxim's got going on. Maxim,
yeah.
I do appreciate you coming on, and I hope that we can get you on again soon once you get some of these things rolling and get some more big events coming up. You let us know, and we'll get you back. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.